What is going on, everybody? I am Rob Westerman, the third of GBP Daily, and thank you for tuning in to the Rob Westerman Show. You can find me all over the social sphere at GBP Daily. Shoot me a follow, subscribe to the YouTube channel, hit me up in the DMs. I am always available to talk Packers anytime, any day. It is Wednesday, October 8th. Happy Hump Day to all of those who celebrate, and happy Bengals week. We've got a 325 game on Sunday. I think the league thought this game was going to be more of a matchup than what it comes down to be currently, with Joe Flacco being the guy over in Cincinnati and not Joe Burrow, as obviously we all know he is out for quite some time. And the Bengals traded for Joe Flacco yesterday, and we will be facing him for the second time in 3 games. So hopefully the outcome is a little different this time. Bad. PFF has graded them the worst team in the NFL up to this point in the season. And yeah, there is no reason in the world why we should not beat the brakes off of this team. They have 2 position groups, in my opinion, that are good / elite. Their wide receivers, due to Jamar Chase and T. Higgins, and their defensive line that is led by Trey Hendrickson, a guy that a lot of us Packer fans were wanting to trade for this offseason. And instead, we got the better pass rusher in Micah Parsons. So Trey Hendrickson ended up signing his deal, stuck around there, and hopefully we can take it to him on Sunday. They are one of the worst blocking offensive lines in the league. They're one of the worst pass blocking offensive lines in the league. So if we don't get 3, 4, 5 or more sacks or tackles for loss on Sunday, I think I might be just a tad disappointed. So on top of that, Joe Flacco is old and can't move. So we have to dictate the line of scrimmage from a defensive perspective. For Sunday, the Packers are still 14.5-point favorites, even after the Flacco signing. And if you are planning on going to a Packers game this year, maybe you're thinking planning a trip to Lambeau or maybe even an away game. Do not buy your tickets anywhere else other than TickPick. They guarantee the cheapest tickets on the market. In fact, if you find cheaper tickets elsewhere, which you will not, because I have tracked and logged every game to prove this fact for 2 years now, they will refund you 110% of your money back. Same tickets as everybody else, StubHub, SeatGeek, all those guys, and TickPick is the cheapest. Use the code Packers21 for an extra $21 off the already cheapest tickets on the market. Shout out to TickPick. I appreciate their partnership with myself. Let's hop into the comment section here, shall we? And as always, if you want to be a part of the show, give me a call on the Nicolet Law hotline, 319-242-2332. My man Nick is in the house. Does the Joe Flacco signing change anything for Sunday? Nick, I don't think so. Maybe our defense won't bring in 2 or 3 interceptions like they probably would have if Browning was back there. But, yeah, Joe Flacco is not moving the needle one bit. As I said earlier, we were favored by 14.5 points before the Flacco trade, and we are still favored by 14.5 points. So one of those things where it's just like, hey, we should go out there and just kind of beat the brakes off this team, and hopefully that is the case come Sunday at 3:25. Thank you, Nick, for hopping in. Appreciate you as always. What else we got? Mason, heading to Green Bay this weekend for the first time. Any recommendations? You know, Mason, I could probably talk about this for the rest of the afternoon, to be frank with you. There's obviously so many things, restaurants, places to stop and see, all that stuff. And feel free to shoot me a message after the show to tell me a little bit more about your trip and, you know, who's coming with and whatnot, if you got kiddos, that sort of thing. But if you are prepping for just a quick weekend, let's just go with that. And it's your first time. Make the first stop be when you get into town. Make the first stop be the pro shop. You know, go there before you check into your hotel, before anything. Drive by the houses across the street from Lambeau. Just soak it all in. Walk into the pro shop. You're at Lambeau Field. head out into the atrium, which if you take the escalator out of the pro shop, that'll bring you right into it. Just kind of soak it in, right? That's what you're there for. That would be my opinion. We're there all the time, and that's almost always our first stop, stopping by the pro shop and seeing what super expensive items they have for all of us Packer fans to enjoy, right? Outside of that, some good food spots. For me personally, I like Fox Harbor. It's a bar and grill type of place, a couple miles away from Lambeau. And, of course, all the restaurants around Lambeau are solid. You know, you got Stadium View, you got Anduzzi's, you got what else you got? The bar, which I think is – Anduzzi's was actually really good last time we were there. We took a little break for a while because we didn't think we cared for it too much, but gave it a second chance in August, and it was great. So they're all going to be packed, so prep yourself for that. If you want to check out a cool collectible type shop, head over to Card and Coin. It's about 2 to 3 blocks from Lambeau. It's a tiny little shop with a bunch of odd Packers related collectibles that you most likely haven't seen before or haven't seen in a long time. So, for example, last time I was there, I grabbed this thing, Reggie White. It plays a sound bite from him, something you just don't see, and something I clearly don't need, but I thought it was cool and said, why not? So, one last thing, grab your crew and do a tour of the stadium. But you got to remember, they do not do tours on game days, so you've got to do it either on Saturday or Monday, depending on your stay. So you can't really go wrong, though, Mason. It's hard to not have a good time when you're in Green Bay on a game day weekend. So enjoy it. Thanks for hopping in the comment section. Appreciate you. What else we got going on in here? Tristan, is the recent Matt LaFleur hate warranted? King AJ, you're here just in time. Tristan, is the recent Matt LaFleur hate warranted? Absolutely not. I'm not sure. I understand, I guess, why folks are so quick to jump to the fire him route after just one loss in 4 games. We have had 1 loss in 4 games now. We haven't had 3 wins, but we've only had 1 loss. Another question, who are we going to replace him with? That's kind of always the next step that everybody doesn't go to, right? They want to fire him, but who are you going to replace him with? People just want to complain and shout for no freaking reason, and that's fine. They have a right to fan how they want to fan, and there are some things that are frustrating when it comes to Matt LaFleur. Some of the play calls, some of the challenges or timeouts that are used at certain points in the game. The 4th and 1, 3rd and 1 play calls are famously not very good in recent memory. Getting out of the huddle with 12 seconds to go and not giving Jordan any time to survey the defense and actually make a play or make a play call change at the line of scrimmage. Everybody's rushing. There's some things, don't get me wrong, but I don't get it. Let's fire Matt LaFleur, a guy who has the second most wins as a head coach in his first 6 seasons in NFL history. And I get it. He had Aaron Rodgers for the first few years. Just about anybody. He was not playing very well the previous couple seasons. So you got to give Matt LaFleur a little credit there. So he helped bring Rodgers back up to MVP form. Him and Jordan are literally lockstep as far as his progression goes, and all the little things that are actually massive things, the game planning each week, the play calling. He's the play caller during the games themselves. Matt is in full control, and I don't think most people, I know King AJ does, so I'm not talking to you, King AJ. I don't think most people understand the holes that we would have if Matt LaFleur was not our coach this week. So I personally think we should be thanking our lucky stars that we have a top 10 coach in the league. So that's my opinion. So anyways, fan how you want to fan, right? King AJ, my man in play calling is pretty goated. But, man, I hope LaFleur has a clean game this week. Let's get back on track. That is what I'm talking about, King AJ. Appreciate you for hopping in as always. Have yourself a great Wednesday. All right, guys, that is going to do it for me again. That is going to do it for me today. Thank you again for tuning in. Always love talking Packers with you guys. Hit me up on social media at GBP Daily. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Any sort of interaction helps myself and helps the page. I will be back and at it again tomorrow. Have a great rest of your Wednesday, and I'll catch you guys later. Thank you.